So perhaps the most important lesson in chiropractic is that regarding the vertebral subluxation complex, or just the subluxation for short. Now, a subluxation can occur at any time and any age. It's often part of the birth process, and then we learn to walk, we fall down 1,000 times, we roughhouse as kids, we have sports injuries and maybe some fender benders later in life. So there's a lot of things that can cause a subluxation from a physical dimension. But we also have the effects of stress, and that can be not only physical stress but chemical stress from toxins and food additives and poor diet, mental and emotional stress from information overload and the 11 o'clock news and sitting on freeways and finances and the economy, things like that can affect our nervous system, and then that in regards to subluxation is what creates the subluxation complex. And the complex has 5 major components: the bones, the muscles, the nerves, soft tissues, and then any degenerative changes. So when a bone is out of place and not moving, or it's stuck, or it's misaligned, we refer to that as spinal kinesio pathology. You just have to think of it in terms of bone out of place. Now, myopathology refers to the muscles. Now, muscles attached to the spine in several ways, but primarily think of it just left side and right side. And if you're rowing a boat and you want to go straight and have some power, all the oarsmen need to be rowing at the same time. If one side is rowing harder, like the muscles on the spine pulling more on one side, and the other side is rowing less, like the muscles on the spine being a little bit weaker, then we're going to see an imbalance. And we refer to that again as myopathology. And that can lead to muscle spasms and adhesions and scar tissue and some muscle pain, certainly. The next component and the most primary aspect is that of the nervous system. The nervous system can be affected in several ways. First, stress to the nervous system is what initiates the subluxation many times. So that can be physical stress, chemical stress, mental stress. But the old aspects of chiropractic philosophy said that signals from the brain were going to the body, the bones were pinching the nerves, and if you use the analogy of a garden hose, the water couldn't get through that nerve, and therefore the water not getting through the hose was like the nerve signal not getting through the nerve, and you're not growing flowers, you grow weeds. Great analogy, not accurate whatsoever in this context. Yes, nerves can be pinched, they can be tethered, they can be stretched, but the biggest component seems to be the joint receptors that monitor position and motion. They fire 24/7 anyway. If things are out of alignment, they're firing abnormally 24/7. And the brain is receptor driven. It waits for a signal from the body to the brain, then the brain tells the body what to do next. And that's going back and forth about 5 trillion times every second. So any stress in the nervous system is going to cause this neurologic pathway to become out of balance, and that can lead to long-term health consequences depending on where those nerves go to. And so we want to restore motion to the nervous system. So abnormal nerve function is referred to in Latin as neuropathology. Now, soft tissues like ligaments and discs, ligaments attach bone to bone. If you sprain a ligament, like you sprain your ankle, or you can sprain the joints in the neck, what happens there is from a whiplash or other type of injury, you damage soft tissues. Another aspect of soft tissues are the discs. Discs are like the ice cream sandwich between the two bones. And if you squish an ice cream sandwich, it might bulge out one side. Same thing if the 2 vertebrae above and below a disc are out of kilter because of subluxation, then the disc is going to have abnormal stress, abnormal strain, and in layperson's terms you might call it a slip disc. But disc can bulge, a disc can herniate, so you can wind up with severe consequences of disc injuries, but for the most part it's usually just a misalignment of the vertebra putting stress on the disc, but left over time that can create degenerative changes in that disc. When we see changes in the soft tissues from a subluxation, that's referred to as histopathology. And lastly is pathophysiology, and that refers to degenerative or pathological changes in the vertebral component. and that can be arthritis, it can be degenerative disc disease, degenerative joint disease, osteoarthritis, a lot of factors of wear and tear. So what sets chiropractic apart is the vertebral subluxation is our special entity. No other healthcare provider focuses on the subluxation. So we adjust the spine to reduce and restore normal function, to reduce subluxations, to correct subluxations, so that the flow of energy in the body is restored. And that's the innate wisdom of the body, the innate intelligence, so that your expression of life is more fulfilled, more complete. And that is what is unique to chiropractors. We adjust the spine to restore life in the body, and a byproduct of correcting subluxations is that you see improvements in your health. You see decrease in symptoms. We don't treat specific diseases or specific symptoms, but the side effect of improved health is that you have less disease entities, less symptomatic entities. So correcting the subluxation so that you can have a happier, healthier, more prosperous and productive life is what chiropractic is all about.